Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro. Lenovo. Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic abuse in their lifetime. And nearly half of survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina started the Purple Leash Project to help eliminate one of the many barriers domestic abuse survivors face: a lack of pet-friendly domestic violence shelters. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping to create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters across the country, so abuse survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to get involved.
This episode is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Buying a home in today's market can be overwhelming. Luckily, Navy Federal Credit Union's new home buying center has everything you need. With services like verified pre-approval, which shows sellers you're a serious buyer, you have a competitive advantage when making an offer. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Membership required. Terms and conditions apply. Loan subject to approval. Call 1-888-842-6328 for details about credit costs.
You've almost certainly been prescribed a medication before. But did you understand how it worked? The way your medication works in your body shouldn't be a mystery. Learn how Vyvgart Hytrulo, Efgartigimod Alpha, and Hyaluronidase QVFC works by visiting vyvgart.com/MOA. That's VYVGART.com/MOA. Brought to you by Argenix.
Hey y'all, Dr. Joy here. I invite you to join me every Wednesday on the Therapy for Black Girls podcast, a weekly chat about mental health and personal development, where my expert guests and I discuss the unique challenges and triumphs faced by Black women through the lens of self-care, pop culture, and building the best version of you. So if you're looking for more ways to incorporate wellness into your life, listen to the Therapy for Black Girls podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Episode 438, What to Budget For This Fall.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And today we are talking about all the things to budget for this fall so that you don't miss a thing. Because you
don't want to miss a thing. Wow.
Brought to you by millennials.
Yeah, but first it's actually brought to you by Phone a Friend. It worked in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, mostly. And it can work for us too. When we've had a bad day, phone a friend. When you need to vent, phone a friend. When you're not sure what that weird growth is on your left toe, phone a friend.
A doctor.
And we also, maybe your friend is a doctor, like knows WebMD really well.
That's ideal.
And we also think the more friends you have to call on, the better, which is why we're pumped about this virtual Get Organized Summit happening the week of September 9th. It's like phoning all of your friends at once to get all the tips on simplifying, organizing, creating better routines, and overall just decreasing the things that can cause the most stress. Talk about the best way to enter the fall. And all of it in really sustainable ways that last. So there's over 100 speakers, including Jen and I. We have a talk at this virtual event, and others who are also talking about organizing home spaces, well-being practices in which we can aim at sustainable long-term well-being, managing day-to-day tasks well. So if you want to attend this virtual conference, again, it's happening the week of September 9th. You can do that for free by using our specific link, which is at frugalfriendspodcast.com/GoHQ. That's GOHQ. That will allow you to attend the conference for free.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about this coming fall, because here we are. Summer's over, and we are talking about budgeting. I'm trying to paste in the other episodes to listen to. I'm pasting like a million different things.
Gosh.
Oh gosh. But if you are really interested in other episodes we have about specifically fall, episode 240 is our frugal living tips for fall. So we're talking about a few ways to maximize the season. This is our episode, I guess, on how to minimize the season. So episode 240, that one came out 2 years ago. So it's definitely time for another fall specific episode.
Yeah, and we're taking an approach of both kind of what to budget for, but also what to be reviewing for the fall with your finances, because we think this is a really good time to look at how do we want to end Q4, to use financial lingo. But really, we've got a few more months left in the year. And before we hit that look back over the whole year and what do I think about and what do I want a resolution for, we can really set ourselves up for feeling good about the new year with some of these final attention pieces. So the article that we're going to go through, it's just one article because we've been liking to really focus in. We've simplified our structure.
And this is great because it's from my friend, Michelle Schroeder Gardner over at Making Sense of Sense. And it's your fall financial checklist, 17 things to do now.
So we're not going to go through all 17, but in some ways we're kind of going to touch on all of them because some of them can be paired together. But the first one I want to highlight is the first one. And this has a little bit more to do with kind of thinking ahead, what's coming up this year, but is related financially, and that's health insurance. So for those of us using the health insurance marketplace, enrollment opens November 1st and it runs through December 15th for medical insurance coverage that will begin in January. So this is something to start preparing for now, to be researching the type of coverage that you're going to need in the new year, be thinking about what your medical needs are, how much were medical expenses this past year for you, what type of coverage would be best, how much will that cost you monthly, in what ways do you need to maybe rearrange your spending or begin preparing to be able to afford whatever your new monthly premium might be. If you want more information on this topic specifically, we did do an episode 254, Open Enrollment Explained with Eileen Doherty. That was a while ago.
It was in 2022.
But
so it's
still
relevant.
Some really great stuff in there. So if open enrollment kind of confuses you, you want a little bit more, queue up episode 254.
Yeah, it's definitely still relevant. It has aged well. So definitely check that out because it's good to know if you're gonna want to. You should also check out our HSA versus FSA episode that we just recently did, episode 428. We literally just did that one in July. Those two episodes will really help you figure out, okay, am I in a good place with my health insurance? Like, do I have the plan that I want? Or should I consider a different plan with maybe an HSA, FSA, neither? So those are two good episodes to queue up. Number 2 is to make a plan to max out retirement investments. So this is definitely an ideal one. I would say if you can. So I was actually just talking with my sister-in-law about her retirement, and we are not certified financial planners, so we do not give investment advice, but we do give saving advice. And so traditionally, I think 15% is a really good number to shoot for. If you're not saving 15% into your retirement savings, you don't have to start out at 15% right away. Definitely just get whatever match your employer is offering if they offer one. For my sister-in-law, she was doing 7% because it was kind of half for the first 3.5%, and it's a confusing thing. But she had to do 7% in order to get 3.5% match.
Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
Just a few years ago, only 3% of domestic violence shelters accepted pets, meaning many abuse survivors had to choose between staying in a difficult situation for their pet or leaving their pet behind. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic abuse in their lifetime, and nearly half of survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina believes in the healing power of pets, particularly for survivors of abuse. They believe pets and people are better together, which is one of the many reasons they started the Purple Leash Project. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping break down one of the many barriers abuse survivors face: the lack of pet-friendly domestic violence shelters. Purina has helped increase the amount of pet-friendly shelters across the country from 3% to nearly 20% through the Purple Leash Project. With more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters, survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to get involved.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Are you tired of your scented cleaning products smelling and cleaning like meh? Then it's time for an upgrade with the power of Clorox Scentiva. With an uplifting scent that smells like coconut, Clorox Scentiva gives you powerful clean like Clorox, but a feeling like being transported to a tropical island retreat. Imagine putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, tuning out all the constant, just the feeling of warm sand in between your toes and a fruity drink in your hand. The ones with the little umbrella. Refresh your home to feel like an all-inclusive vacation by getting Clorox Scentiva. Also available in grapefruit and lavender scents at a nearby retail store.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
So that's where she was at. We bumped her up to 10. And I said, in a few months, if you don't notice a difference, going up to 15 would really be good. And that's because she already had some retirement savings. I would say if you're in your 20s or and you're not starting with anything, 15% is fine. If you're in your 30s and you already have some savings, 15% is fine. If you're in your 30s or 40s and you don't have a lot, then I would say try 20. So again, working up to it. For most people, that's not going to be maxing out. So, and we say start now because you have until tax day of next year for your IRA to quote unquote max that out. So you could potentially max out your IRA for this year if you start now. And if you really want to get aggressive, I think 7,000 is the limit this year. Otherwise, doing your 401k is totally fine if you don't have enough to do both. But so maxing out would be great if you have the funds, but I would say at least getting to 15%, like making it a goal this fall to get your savings up to 15 or 20. 15% is great.
Number 3 on this list is a little bit more practical, but definitely something we all need to be paying attention to as we enter into some of the colder months, and that is prepping our home. So we're not quite into winter, but temps are going to be dropping everywhere. And doing some of this maintenance on the house can not only prolong the life of your home, but also help to reduce energy costs that you may have as you need to start using the heat. So some of these things can include cleaning your gutters, making sure that you have proper drainage happening on your roof is going to help prolong the life of the roof. And we all know how important roofs are, right?
Man, and it's not literally 5 years makes a huge difference. If you can prolong the life of your roof for 5 years, that's not nothing.
Change your filters on your heating systems. Maybe you're a regular person who sets reminders for yourself, but if you're not, let this podcast episode be a reminder that those filters do need to be changed. And this to me, changing your filters, sorry, this is a little bit of a side tangent, but it feels to me like the reminder of when you put money into your Roth IRA, make sure that you actually allocate and invest those funds, right? Like, you know how we need to keep reminding people of that because yours truly also made that mistake?
Oh, yours truly has made that mistake. Yeah.
Changing the filter on your heating and cooling system feels like that. Like everyone kind of knows it, but no one really actually does it. And then they run into issues. Like I think my sister just had this recently where their AC wasn't working and they called somebody in and it was just that their filter was dirty.
Yeah.
So before you waste money, just do these simple things that we all can do. Insulate your windows. That's such a game changer. Eric and I used to do that when we lived in the north, and it really did save us, I'd say pretty significantly on our heating costs to be insulating our windows. Consider a programmable thermostat so that you can kind of change up how hot or cold it is in your space from morning to night. That can reduce our energy costs. Reverse your ceiling fans. Even just look up a checklist of how do I prepare my home for the warmer months. And this isn't just for homeowners, this is for renters as well, because you're still paying for your energy usage.
Yeah, this is a one-day thing. So we put the most important things on the list for one day this month, and then we do them and then they're done. And on your air conditioning filter, you write, change me on this date. So that way, every time you open it up and you're like, I don't know, is it time to change it? You know, as soon as you look, if it's time to change it or not.
Yeah. Well, and similar to your vehicle too, right? So if you're not even as concerned about your home, if you have a car, this would be a good time to consider getting it prepped, especially if you live in the north. There's some things that you want to consider with your tires and maintenance of your car to be prepped and ready. So there could be a cost associated with some of these things, but some of this is just prep to save money for the fall.
Yeah. I mean, and so with the car thing, getting regular car washes, putting car washes in your budget if you're not going to do it yourself, because getting the ice off the undercarriage of your
car.
The
salt is what causes the rust.
Right.
Yeah.
It will prolong the life of your car so long so that you can have your car longer, so you're not spending as much money on replacement car insurance, yada, yada. And it's just budgeting in those monthly or however frequently cleanings of your car to get that salt off.
Exactly.
So next is the holiday season. So Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So you'll want to make decisions about what you will buy. And this is very important, decisions about what you will not buy. Both of these lists are important, and so often we make the first list without making the second. And it's one of those, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything sort of things. So you have to make a I won't stand for this list, or I stand for this no list, or you will fall to buying things you had not budgeted for. And that's just the truth of it. Like, we're all going to spend money on Halloween. And honestly, we're going to spend money we hadn't planned on all these holidays that actually are valuable and important to us, because we're not going to remember everything, right? But So that's why this do not buy list is so important. You have to think about, okay, what did I spend money on last year that did not get me what I want, that got me things I didn't want, and what am I not going to buy this year? So that way, you know, and look at your statements from last year too. How much did you spend on Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas?
I feel like a lot of times we'll talk, oh, okay, Christmas is coming, and that's like the only thing you need to budget for. But the fall is one of the bigger spendy just seasons, I feel like, especially for people who really love the aesthetic of fall. We can get sucked into all of the decor and the fun activities and whatnot. And I think that's where that list of what am I going to choose to not spend on? What does quality over quantity look like for me? If I really value decorating for the fall, are there ways that I can do that and not just buy a bunch of junk that actually I don't even know where I'm going to store it, and I probably won't even use it next year. So not just the Halloween costumes or the gifts and the food, which you do have to think about, but also the decor that kind of happens around this time of year and whether or not it's truly valuable to you, what it adds, the benefit that it brings, and are there alternative ways of engaging in that in a not so like over consuming way.
And when you start early, if you can inventory maybe the decor you have or the old Halloween costumes you have, you can sell those things on Facebook Marketplace ahead of the seasons. You're more likely to sell them, recoup some money, and, you know, do some decluttering. Because yes, people love to buy decor. We know, you know, underconsumption core is in our heads is still viral. And so people want to buy it secondhand, and you can offer it secondhand, either locally on Facebook Marketplace or the small stuff like costumes that's easy to ship. You can sell it on eBay or Poshmark. People will be looking there too. So consider that. That's why it's only the beginning of September, but this is when we do this stuff now so that we can prepare. And again, make the do not buy list for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And I would say, Jill, you forgot one important holiday is pumpkin season.
Well, that's the whole fall thing.
So pumpkin, you know, how many pumpkin spice lattes do I get per day? And what pumpkin things at Trader Joe's will I not buy this year because they weren't actually good?
Well, and I think all of the activities too that go along with just buying pumpkins, drinking pumpkin stuff, going to the pumpkin patch. I think we get out of summer and we think, okay, all of that like spendy activity, entertaining the kids is over. And we forget that like, no, sir, the fall comes and we want to do all of the fall things. So
pumpkin is mommy's.
Either budget for it or consider what else you can do, what free activities are coming up. Just be mindful of who you are in the fall and what you're going to want.
Summer Gen may not be the same as fall Gen.
Exactly.
And I know that they're not, because I much prefer fall Gen to summer Gen.
Routine has returned, but we also need to be aware of our spending. All right. The second part of the article now kind of looks at some of these more intangibles, I would say, of an overall financial check-in and some of the things that we can be doing to kind of check in on this last part of the year. How can we end well? What should we be considering with our finances? How can we leverage these last few months as best as possible, set us up for the new year well?
Yeah. So the first thing for me is building an emergency binder for you and your family. And it's a one-time thing that you can just update every fall, like when your children start school, because maybe they're starting a new school or that's kind of when biggest changes happen, right? Is when school starts. So updating your emergency binder. And what this has in it, it has financial information, such as health insurance, financial accounts, beneficiaries, passwords, usernames, where to find certain documents. So
don't keep it in a Google Doc.
don't keep it.
Make sure if it has all of your passwords. Yeah. Two-factor authentication.
Since this is probably going to be on paper, that's why it should be like updated once a year. So if you have a family, have children, this is definitely useful, mandatory. But if you're single, because someone will have to handle your affairs if something happens to you, and that, you just assume you're not going to care, like if you die, whatever. But like the worst thing is that if you don't die and you're just comatose and you're going to wake up.
The worst thing is if you don't die, Jen.
Right. The worst thing is that you're not going to die and people like mess up your stuff.
Right.
Because you were incapacitated for
and
a minute.
You didn't
right?
have like a will, you mean? Like or not a will,
just
like
so we're not even talking about that yet. Just an emergency binder with all this important stuff. And you can look up, they sell the templates on Etsy, but honestly, I think you could just create a Google Doc or a Google Sheet, honestly, or get a free template somewhere and print it out and make your little binder and then update it once a year in the fall.
Yeah, so a lot of what we're advocating for here and the article is having a money meeting or a money party that's more fun with yourself, or if you share finances with a partner, being able to have this overall financial check-in together. And some of the tangibles that can be a part of this, not that it all has to happen in one sitting, but kind of making a plan to do these different things between now and the end of the year could be helpful, like checking your credit score. So you can get free credit reports and check your score, but even just the free credit reports can tell you if what's being reported, check for any errors on it and adjust that. That's just going to be a helpful thing in case and especially if you are planning on buying a house or a vehicle or any other type of thing where you want to get a new credit card in the new year. Having the best possible credit score is going to get you the best possible interest rate, the best possible deal, the best possible bonus points on a credit card. So ensuring that you're checking in on that regularly, and this is a great time to do that. It's also a really good time to check in on your car insurance. I know many people pay for their car insurance just every 6 months, so we're not looking at it that regularly, but this would be a good time to do a check-in on that as well. What are we paying? Are there things that we can be doing to lower our rates? Like even doing an online driving school for many insurance companies can reduce the cost. If you're willing to put one of those trackers in your car that shows that you're being a good driver, just negotiate, price compare, all of that.
Yeah. And this would be again, we have one day to get our house ready for winter, and we have another day where we're making an inventory and updating all of this stuff with your partner, or just yourself. And if you have young kids, you're putting them with grandparents or babysitters so that you can do this, really both be in it at the same time. And so then you can make this checklist of things to do financially that you can do at a later date. We're not trying to do everything all in one day. We're just trying to do a couple hours, get on the same page once a year, and then we move on. Yeah,
we're reviewing subscriptions. Are we still good with what we're automatically paying for regularly? And I love this one. I don't think was on this article, from other reading that I was doing preparing for this. Preparing to ask for a raise with your year-end review. Many employers will do a year-end review with their employees. And if you know that this is coming up, now is a good time to be prepping yourself to make that ask. Some of that could include ensuring that you're on track with kind of the tasks and deliverables that are a part of your role description, so that when you ask for this raise, it doesn't come as a surprise. You've got the receipts for the work that you've done, and you can start to prep your language and your reasoning behind what it is that you're asking for, and feel really confident about the words that you're going to use at that year-end review, and just go into a new year with more money in your pocket.
Yeah. And if they refuse to give you even a 3% raise or anything, refuse to show you options for advancement, then you can go into the new year thinking about a new job. Yes.
That can be informative as well.
Speaking of jobs, another thing you should budget for the fall is your paid time off. So if you are in a job where it is use it or lose it and it renews at the end of the year, I know sometimes it can renew over the summer and sometimes it's, after the holidays, you should budget that time off and use 100% of it, because we're in the fall. I get wanting to save them if it's, winter, spring, summer, you don't know what's happening, but this is it, baby. This is the last 3 months of the year, last 4 months of the year. So budget time to use it so that you don't lose it. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be taking it at the end because everybody's going to be fighting for it. Like, your job, when it's likely to get approved. So take those days.
Take those long weekends.
Yes.
Prep your home for the colder months. Do your financial check-in. Just
do nothing.
Stack the whole thing.
Bedrock.
I think this is also a good time to consider what you want your giving to be. A lot of times we do become a lot more giving around the giving season. And I think sometimes we can impulse give, which that's the best type of impulse spending, in my opinion. But it still could be to our detriment. And we want to think through, what do I want to give this year, whether in gifts or monetary amounts to organizations or just people in my community who might have an ask or a need. So this is still something we need to be factoring into our budgets.
Yeah. And also on that same line is donating warm clothing that you haven't worn in a while. So now at the beginning of the cold season, getting all that stuff in and don't hold on to it because you quote unquote think you will wear it or you want to wear it. Donate that warm stuff before it gets really cold so that it can actually be used this season. If you didn't wear it last year, go forth and donate that to somebody who will use it this season. Mm-hmm. And two more fall specific things. If you received an extension on your tax return, make sure you complete it and file it. You have until October, I think it's 15th or 16th. You have till mid-October. So let's get that done by the end of the month. And then if you have a flexible spending account, it might be a good idea to stop funding that if you have funds in it that you may not use, and just figure out ways to use that so you're not scrambling at the last minute.
Yeah, not using up the money that's in that account.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what we don't have trouble using up, though?
Oh my gosh, we'll be using it literally until the last episode of the year, but there's plenty to go around.
The bill of the week!
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hi, Jen and Jill. This is Rissy calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My bill of the week is that I just spent $116 to register for the Milwaukee Lakefront Half Marathon, which is coming up in October. And I'm really excited about this. Plus, it's the last bill that I'm paying before I start my no spend month. I have some financial goals that I'm trying to accomplish, and I think a no spend month will get me on my way. So thanks for all the inspiration. Have a great day. Bye.
Rissy, my girl, my fellow half marathoner, I am proud of you. Well done. I would just also like to state Disney half marathons are much more expensive than that. So for any non-runners who are like $116 to run 13.1 miles, because that's how many miles a half marathon is, just know that, Rissy, you got a steal. That's a good price. So good for you, girl. And I hope your no spend month went well. And I guess you haven't done your half marathon yet. So best of luck on that.
Yeah, I hope that goes well. I will most likely never pay to run, but I respect those who choose to spend on this value.
She looks at me
like Jen. Yes, this is all for Jen. But I did enjoy this one, Rissy, especially your preparation for a no spend month. I think that that's another really great idea for the fall. If you're finding that, I've got a lot of competing goals between maxing out my retirement investing and ending the season well and giving and holidays and activities, and I don't know where it's all going to come from. Doing a no spend challenge, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, can really set you up to be able to end well. So that's just a good tip, Rissy. Thanks for your bill. If you all are listening and you have a bill that is running related, you don't mind paying the bill, it's about not paying bills anymore because you're doing a no spend month, or your name is Bill and you're just excited for the fall, frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. We can't wait for it.
Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro. Lenovo. Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
Just a few years ago, only 3% of domestic violence shelters accepted pets, meaning many abuse survivors had to choose between staying in a difficult situation for their pet or leaving their pet behind. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic abuse in their lifetime, and nearly half of survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina believes in the healing power of pets, particularly for survivors of abuse. They believe pets and people are better together, which is one of the many reasons they started the Purple Leash Project. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping break down one of the many barriers abuse survivors face: the lack of pet-friendly domestic violence shelters. Purina has helped increase the amount of pet-friendly shelters across the country from 3% to nearly 20% through the Purple Leash Project. With more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters, survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to get involved.
Are you tired of your scented cleaning products smelling and cleaning like meh? Then it's time for an upgrade with the power of Clorox Scentiva. With an uplifting scent that smells like coconut, Clorox Scentiva gives you powerful clean like Clorox, but a feeling like being transported to a tropical island retreat. Imagine putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, tuning out all the constant, just the feeling of warm sand in between your toes and a fruity drink in your hand. The ones with the little umbrella. Refresh your home to feel like an all-inclusive vacation by getting Clorox Scentiva. Also available in grapefruit and lavender scents at a nearby retail store.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Have you made the switch to Knix? Millions of women have made the switch to the revolutionary period underwear from Knix. That's Knix. Period panties from Knix are like no other, making them the #1 leak-proof underwear brand in North America. They're comfy, stylish, and absorbent, perfect for period protection from your lightest to your heaviest days. They look, feel, and machine wash just like regular underwear, but feature incognito protection that has you covered. You can shop sizes from extra small to 4XL. Choose from all kinds of colors, prints, and different styles, from bikinis to boy shorts, thongs to high-rise. You've got to try Knix. See why millions are ditching disposable, wasteful period products and have switched to Knix. Go to knix.com and get 15% off with promo code TRY15. That's knix.com, promo code TRY15 for 15% off life-changing period underwear. That's knix.com.
And now it's time for the lightning round. Pew, 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 pew.
All right. What's typically your largest single expense each fall that you have to budget for? And we don't change up a lot of our spending in the fall. I am not a Halloween girly. Like, I love spooky season, but I hate dressing up in costumes. I hate costumes. I am such a curmudgeon when it comes to costumes. I don't do it. I love that people do it. I'm not against it. But like me, the idea of dressing up in a costume, hate.
Wow.
Thanksgiving, I will do a couple sides. And Christmas, I do bare minimum. Last year I bought fabric on sale on clearance so that I could wrap gifts and reuse the fabric this year to wrap gifts again and just use the same fabric.
That's a good idea, the fabric.
I went like the day before Christmas Eve and
hopefully like all your sizing of what you've cut previously will fit.
I got a couple 1 yard and a couple 2 yards so that I could like have variety. So,
I love that.
Yeah. But also I don't give I give like 2 gifts to each child.
And
so
gifts don't always need to be wrapped either. Gifts can just be given.
Yeah.
There's always that.
So I'm not like a big holiday spender. So daycare is my single largest expense every season. And I pay it gladly.
Oh, wow.
It is a great gift to drop my 18-month-old off in the mornings. And shout outs to all those parents on the weekends pulling 2 24-hour shifts. Blessings to you.
Yeah. That sounds like a bill you don't mind paying, which is great.
Yeah, I don't.
For me, it's not necessarily a singular expense, but more an expense category. My food spending absolutely increases for multiple reasons. Usually in the fall, winter, we are hosting more. So I've got more people in my house. And then around the holidays, that's my treat. Like, I'm not huge on just giving people junk for the sake of giving people stuff, but I am about eating and enjoying good food and giving good food to other people. And for me, that is how I budget for the holidays, but it is something I have to kind of prepare for and adjust every year to know I'm going to spend a lot of money on food.
Okay. You know what you can get me for Christmas? And I won't be ready for it until Christmas, but you won't have to spend money on it.
Okay.
A sourdough starter.
Oh,
I won't be ready.
You need to prepare me for that. A starter.
I am preparing. Right now we're recording this.
No, you didn't prepare me just now for telling me that. It was so shocking.
Sorry, we were recording this in July.
So thrilling. You'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
In January to take on a starter.
The book publishes January 7th.
Okay.
And we'll have to do a few book tour stops. But I'm sure that Travis can maintain the starter in my absence for 1 month. So, or maybe you should delay my gift until after the book tour.
Okay.
Till Eric's birthday.
This is so thrilling.
Give me it for Eric's birthday.
Okay. Sounds good. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. We love reading your kind reviews, and we especially love this one from D2 924. They say, so much fun changing my mindset 1 episode at a time. Finishing up listening to episode 369, and the amount of giggles has started my morning off so positive and lighthearted. Finally, somebody that likes our giggling. I heard about your podcast from Best Laid Plans, and it's been the recommendation I didn't know that I needed on a financial journey, and excited to try to be more creative with solutions instead of buying things I don't need. Appreciate you so much. Thank you, D2, because we love giggling.
I don't love that word.
I know, we don't giggle.
The word giggle just sounds so vapid. And I feel like we have a good time and we're funny adults. We're not
Our
silly little girls.
Are educated and insightful and adult. Full throttle laugh.
I'm really trying not to giggle right now.
I'm not. So thank you for listening and listening to our laughs.
If you also are enjoying listening, we would love it if you would leave us a review. First of all, we are loving that you're here and listening, so thank you. But also know that reviews really do help us. I mean, that one helped a ton for people to know that there is going to be laughter.
Prepare for the giggle.
Exactly. They can know what they're getting themselves into. It also helps us to be able to get onto other podcasts. It helps to establish us as a legit podcast. All of you in our community who are leaving these reviews, it's awesome. If you haven't done it yet, please do so wherever you're listening. You can also support us by getting our book, pre-ordering it. Pre-ordering it is what helps us the most. Please don't wait till January if you are planning on reading the book. buywhatyoulovebook.com. We're so grateful to be here, and we want to keep being here. And those are the ways that you can ensure that.
Yeah. And just to let you know, episode 369 was how to afford more of what money can't buy. So apparently
that was the one they liked. And
or no. How to be 369 was how to be content without being complacent.
Oh, I liked that episode.
Yeah.
We were laughing a lot. Interesting.
Yeah.
Best Laid Plans. Were you on that show?
No, I don't remember. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
cool. I love it when people find us from other podcasts.
I know, we love doing
and
podcasts.
I love introducing people to other podcasts. I mean, all of our guests, if they have a podcast, it is one that we'd be like, yes, go listen to them.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
bye.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Siriani.
All right, Jill. So Rissy's Bill of the Week made me kind of think about something. I'm a half marathon, girly.
You're loving the word girly lately.
Well,
Here we
here's
are.
the thing. Somebody got mad at somebody on social media for referring to a woman as a girl, but it was another girl, calling her a girl. And she got mad. She's like, they're women. And I was
kind of like how I'm mad about the word giggle.
Yeah. And then I kind of just, I had to respond with, she's calling her a girl, G-U-R-L, not a girl, G-I-R-L. Very different.
Wow.
I just and then I deleted Instagram off my phone.
You just insert yourself into situations. And
I don't like who I've become.
Gotta get out.
Yeah. So, but I was thinking, if our book makes a bestseller list, I'll run a full marathon.
The things you just decide on the spot, it would be so, you know how people say, swim around in your brain. I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't think I can handle it. I can hardly,
my brain.
I can hardly handle my experience of your brain on the outside of you. I could not imagine what it's like to be in there. It's wild, unruly.
Here's the thing. I don't know if it would. I'm always trying to come up with incentives for people to pre-order the book, right? Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. Pre-ordered at buywhatyoulovebook.com. And I don't know if it would be a good incentive, but
I think it's just something you want to do, and you want other people to have to make you do it, and you need the motivation for it. So you need them to buy the book, so you have to run a full marathon.
I want to run a full marathon, but I can't run it unless we make a bestseller
Unless
list.
you tell me that I have to.
Yeah. Until we make a bestseller list, I can't run the full marathon of my dreams.
Yeah.
Which right now became my dream.
That's so funny, because if we make a bestseller list, I'm just going to go on vacation. To me, that's what I'll do. You're like, oh, if we accomplish this big thing, I'm going to punish myself. I'm going to do one of the most awful things that's going to ruin my whole weekend in the following 2 weeks. And you guys have to make me do it. And I'm like, I'd love to make a bestseller list. And then I'll go to Cancun.
I mean, I want to do that too, but I'm not going to make a bestseller list and go out and run a marathon the next weekend. It wouldn't be like till a year later, I think, because I know
you'd have to learn that you were on a bestseller list and then train for the marathon.
Yes.
Is there a marathon you'd want to do?
Disney World.
Oh, okay. What's their marathon? What do they call it?
It's in January. It's called the Disney World Marathon.
Oh, because usually they're like the dopey,
Right?
the donkey, the princess,
You're not wrong.
the wine and dine.
Yeah.
This one they're just like, we lost. We're tired. We don't have any more creativity in us.
This was before they had creativity.
Oh, speaking of Disney, I wonder if you know this. I don't know how Disney are you? I've been going to trivia on Tuesdays. You know this. I've rediscovered myself in my year of less travel, less hosting. You've heard me talk about how I'm doing just like more local things. Part of that is a book club that you and I are a part of together. Mm-hmm. Part of it is going to trivia on Tuesdays. And there was this one question. It was, what was the first Disney on Ice, I guess, like theme, or like what was like attraction, central character. There you go.
Character.
Yeah. The first Disney on Ice.
Was it a princess?
You don't get to do that at trivia. You don't get to ask more questions.
Oh, I don't know. Beauty and the Beast on Ice.
Right? Wouldn't that have been great? Mickey Mouse Fantasia.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. It like totally makes sense. But my mind never would have. I was like, Cinderella, because the castle is based on her.
Beauty and the Beast on Ice when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. And one of the guys at the table went to Little Mermaid on Ice when he was a kid. And he's one of the oldest amongst us. So we were like, go with his answer.
Little Mermaid came out in 1989. The year I was born.
Yeah, the year we were both born. Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know what year Beauty and the Beast came out, though. Maybe before.
I want to say like 93, but that might have been Lion
90s
King.
Were the golden age of
and then they just stopped making them. They're like, here, we did enough. We're tired now. We're just going to call the marathon.
It's older than that.
I'm just going to stick with the movies we made in the 90s.
Yeah. I think the 93, 94 was the first marathon weekend. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, there are some things I do know.
Yeah, you could do a whole Disney trivia. I bet they do that somewhere.
Probably.
What trivia do you think you would be best at if you could choose a category?
How many minutes do we have left?
I know honestly, this is called filibustering for all of you who are still here. We are contractually obligated for a 45-minute episode. And my clock says we're only at 42 minutes. So we're going to be here with you just spitballing for a while.
Huh. Okay. What do I think I could get? Possibly a TV show. Like Game of Thrones. But no, then you've got too much book lore, and I didn't read the books. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think, I'm not a Disney adult enough to get Disney trivia. Mm-hmm. What would yours be?
I'm kind of just asking it out loud, honestly. Eric always says The Office. So in some ways, I feel like, yeah, maybe me too. Like I have seen a lot of The Office, but I think there'd be a lot of people who know even more than me.
That's the thing.
But as far as what I might feel like the most confident in, I don't know deep dives on many subjects.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Star Wars because that fandom is much deeper than me. Mm-hmm. Definitely not The Office. I wasn't a big Office girly. I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about any one thing. I know a lot about, I know a little about a lot of things.
Cleaning. If I could do trivia on cleaning, I don't know what types of questions they'd ask, but I think I probably could get it.
Possibly digital marketing.
Yes. How to sell a book.
Digital marketing could be something that I could be very successful at. Which I'll tell you, the most successful digital marketers do not sell courses on digital marketing. I'll tell you that right now.
Is that on purpose or?
No, they're too good at marketing. They're actual business. And so they're doing their business. They're not selling courses on affiliate marketing and digital marketing and email marketing and all that stuff. So,
wow. Look at, I'm learning something.
Yeah. Except for the ones that have been in it for like 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. That's because they did it so well with their first business. They're bored and they want to do something new. Those are the highlights. Those are the real OGs.
The real.
Those are the real. So if you're just finding out about somebody that you've never heard of that talks about digital marketing,
maybe don't trust them.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. But trust us. Buy what you love without going broke.
Yeah, don't buy a digital marketing course from me. No.
Buy the book.
Yeah, buy what you love without going broke.
Buy what you love book.
I could do a trivia on values-based spending, possibly retirement accounts and personal finance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything you've written about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think that I would say social work, but I really only retain the knowledge that I need for what I'm currently doing.
Which is what all specialists do.
Yeah, that's true.
Good. That's why, I couldn't do a parenting trivia. For sure wouldn't win that.
But it is what you're currently doing, so.
Yep. That is what I'm currently doing.
That's so good.
Yeah. I don't think anything else. How many minutes do we have left? Are we done yet?
We're getting close. I just want to be absolutely sure.
Wow.
Okay, now we're going to go have lunch. Did you pack a lunch today?
I forgot my lunch. I had lunch prepped, and I forgot it at home because it's too many things to bring.
Do we believe her, listener?
You know what I was going to bring is that fried rice you gave me.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a lunch prepared by me. Yay. Yeah. I love that. All right. We'll see what we can scrounge up for you.
Thanks.
This is it. We've got an Amex Platinum Pro on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen anyone relax like this before in the Centurion Lounge. Is he connecting to complimentary Wi-Fi? Oh, my. Look at that. He is. And you will not believe where he's going next. The Amex dedicated card member entrance for the win. Unbelievable.
When you get travel perks with Amex Platinum, you're part of the action. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Old Man. The hit show returns, starring Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow. The former CIA agent sets off on his most important mission to date, to recover his daughter after she's kidnapped. The stakes get higher and more secrets are uncovered. FX's The Old Man premieres September 12th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Starbucks Iced Apple Crisp Oat Milk Shaken Espresso. Made with blonde espresso, creamy oat milk, and spiced apple flavors. It's an icy crisp sip you can enjoy all autumn long. Order ahead on the Starbucks app.
Hey y'all, Dr. Joy here. I invite you to join me every Wednesday on the Therapy for Black Girls podcast, a weekly chat about mental health and personal development, where my expert guests and I discuss the unique challenges and triumphs faced by Black women through the lens of self-care, pop culture, and building the best version of you. So if you're looking for more ways to incorporate wellness into your life, listen to the Therapy for Black Girls podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Angie Martinez, and on my podcast, I like to talk to everyone from Hall of Fame athletes to iconic musicians about getting real on some of the complications and challenges of real life.
I had the best dad, and I had the best memories and the greatest experience. And that's all I want for my kids, as long as they can have that.
Listen to Angie Martinez IRL on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.